Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments, and I am coming to you today with another project recipe. And again, if you missed the last one, I am in the process of putting together several layouts to go in an album for a niece and nephew, or nephew and his fiance, who are getting married. And so I'm not going to be putting pictures on these pages, but I am going to go ahead and show you how to do a project recipe. This is an old project recipe. This particular one is from 2017, from a collection that was called Forever Yours, if you remember this particular one. But I'm going to be using papers that come from a different collection. I'm also going to be using some vellum that comes from a totally different collection, and then some of our more sparkly paper, shimmer paper. So sorry, gosh, my brain was drawing a blank. And also a decorative sheet that I don't know where I got this, but I've had this for a really long time and it fits perfectly with this design. So we're going to go ahead and use that today too. So bear with me. This is going to be a fairly simple one, I think. If you're new to project recipes, just know that there are usually 2 pages to the project recipe, and it will show you a picture of the completed pages, the completed layout here. It gives you a drawing schematic of what the layout looks like using a grayscale so that you can see where pages, pieces of matching papers would go, and they're all labeled alphabetically. Then it gives you a cutting guide on the next page, again in that same grayscale and labeled alphabetically so you can see. It also gives you measurements for the pieces and photo sizes that will fit in those pieces. So to make it as easy as possible, it'll give you a list of the ingredients or the supplies that are used to do this, and optional add-ons to make your designs look even more well-rounded. And then it gives you step-by-step instructions here using the cutting guides and the layout instructions. So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to do. Because I'm trying to keep my pages as light as possible, I'm going to go ahead and use this blue shimmer paper as my base, because I don't want to use cardstock. Cardstock would make my pages super, super heavy, and our shimmer paper, though it is sometimes, some shimmers are a little bit heavier than others, it is still much lighter and closer to the weight of our designer paper. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this rather than using a cardstock base. I'm going to use, for this designer page that I have, I'm not using the whole thing. I'm going to cut 2 rows off of this. We're going to use it as accent pieces on our design. And I actually have already done that. I have those right here. So we're going to use those as accents. And they come from that page. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get busy cutting some pieces. So let me go ahead and just sort of set this to the side so that we can pull the trimmer out and get started with that. All right, so we're going to start with this really cool paper that looks like rocks that are embedded in cement. It's a really neat design. Has bricks on the back. I'm not going to use the bricks. I really like the colors that are all in this. It makes me happy. So we're going to go ahead and cut this at 5 inches. First off, 5 inches, and pull out that page. Then we're going to cut this at 9 inches. So we're gonna pull my arm out so that I can see where 9 inches is. There we go, 9 inches. All right, save this piece because we're going to use it. So just set those aside. Then we're going to cut another one at 5 inches. And we're going to turn that horizontally and line it up at 9 again. So this piece is 5 by 9. You actually have 2 pieces that are 5 by 9 and 2 pieces that are 5 by 3. Okay. Stick those there. Then we're going to take this piece again and we're going to cut these at each 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch by 12. One. Just 2. All right, so our rock paper is all cut. That's an extra piece we'll set aside. Now we're going to go ahead and use our peach paper. This one we're going to cut at 5 inches first, and we're going to turn our paper. So let's see, 5 inches. Then we're going to turn our paper and we're going to cut it at 7 inches. That one. Then we're going to cut this one. This is piece H and it's supposed to be 5 by 4. So we know it's already 5 inches. Let's just double check, make sure that's our 5-inch side. Yep, 5 inches. So we're going to turn it and cut this at 4 inches. Right. This piece is extra. Then we're going to cut another one at 5 inches out of our peach strip. Five inches. We're going to turn it and cut this at 7. And again, cut this at 4. This piece is extra. Then we're going to take this piece that's left, which is 2 inches exactly, and this piece is going to be cut right down the middle so that we have 2 1-inch by 12-inch strips. All right. That's good to go. Now we're going to cut our vellum, and the vellum is cut at 6 1/2. So we're going to go with 6 1/2. Set that aside. We're going to turn this sideways, and this is going to be cut at 4 1/2. All right. Now I believe we have all of our pieces cut. So we're going to set this aside. Bring our base material back down here. I'm going to scoot those up there because we don't need them just yet. All right. Now taking a look at our pattern one more time, we're going to use our rock pieces. The large rock pieces are going to be these large base pieces that are a little bit offset on each side. So let's go with, just a second here, just making a little bit of room so we can lay both of these out. All right, so this piece is going to be up here towards the top. This piece is going to be down here towards the bottom. Such, like so. We're going to take this long strip of rock is going to go across the top of this page. Second ½ inch strip by 12-inch strip of the rock page is going to go across the bottom of the right-hand page. And you're going to take your these two peach strips, go one right on above and one right below. And again, I'm just laying this out so I can see what it's going to look like. Make sure that this is what I want. As my husband likes to say, measure twice, cut once. Although in this case, we've already cut. So maybe that doesn't totally apply. Anyway, so then we've got our other rock piece. It's going to go here and here. A smaller piece. We're going to put our smaller peach pieces directly below that or above it. What page you're looking at. And then the vellum is going to go over the peach and be like so. All right, looking at my monitor, it looks like I have again veered to the right. I tend to do that. Okay, now you should be able to see what we're doing. Pretty much anyway. All right, let's see now. I think it's time to go ahead and adhere these down. But I do want to put a little bit of a cute edge on some of the photograph corners. So let me grab one of my punches that will do that. Get those punched. Also. So this is a little bit of an old punch that you may or may not have seen before. And it actually will punch 4 different ways. It'll punch 2 corners, and then it will punch in the center of your page if you are trying to make like a hanger or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use this cute corner up here because it will cut my corner, and it will also put a cute little heart in the corner as well. Is what I'm looking to do, is just make that look a little bit more decorative. So let's go ahead and scoot these just a little bit so make a little room. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on each one of these papers. I'm going to use this heart. corner. Look at this. Can you see that? It just gets blurry the more closer I get. Anyway, sorry about that. Just gonna cut these real quick. All right. Clean that one up just a little bit. Decided to stick. You ever have a punch just not want to do its job, especially when it's on camera? That's a little frustrating. Come on. Sometimes I just go ahead and poke it, give it a little bit of resistance, and then it rights itself. All right. 4 more. Hopefully my punch will play nice. Come on. My multi-purpose tool is handy for too. Clean up a couple of these too. Okay. I was going to try to do all of these, but I think I'm just going to do the ones that we've already done. Because obviously my punch is having an issue. Which is sad, but sometimes they do have issues. Don't we all, right? All have issues from time to time. All right. Not perfect, but good enough for right now. Okay. let's go ahead and start gluing these down. Again, we don't need to put our adhesive all the way across the strip, just in on make sure you get each end. And then on a long strip like this, I'll usually do 3 in the middle. Right on the edge. Go. This one. Same thing with this one. Rather than going down both sides, because this is a 1-inch strip, I'll usually do the same thing I would do on a more narrow strip. Mostly because it saves me aggravation, and it still holds the paper where I want it, so don't worry too much about it coming apart or being a problem. So put that right up, against the first strip. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to do this piece up here. When I put the adhesive on here, I usually do, I don't know, a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch worth of adhesive. Kind of get used to what feels comfortable to you. You certainly don't, like I said, you certainly don't need to go all the way across. Just kind of waste your adhesive. I don't want to do that. Probably don't even need as much as I put on, but I just feel better doing that. All right, now you'll notice if you're looking, if you're have one of those visual minds, that these are kind of mirror images of each other. We could turn this one around and it would be the exact same as this one. So because of that, I want to make sure that my pieces are in the right place. So I'm going to place this one down, and then I'm going to make sure that this one on this side is in the same place. All right, so let me go ahead and move these pieces. We're going to put down the base piece. Again, we're not putting it all the way down, just at the top, at the bottom, and a couple places in between. And then I also do one kind of in the middle. And then this piece is going to go roughly about 1.5 inches from the bottom of your base. Glue that down. All right. Now I'm going to just set this one aside. This one, I'm not going to actually put adhesive on the corner because I cut those decorative corners. You saw it. I just did that. I just put adhesive on the wrong side of my paper. Dag nabbit. All right, let's see. Sometimes you can, if you've just put it on there, you can scrape it off real quick. Let's see if I can do that. Sometimes when I'm talking, I'm not thinking, obviously. So I use my multi-purpose tool for a ton of things, but using this end of it is my favorite part of this tool because it saves me when I goof up, just like I just goofed up. So far, so good. 2 out of the 4. There's number 3. One more, and then we're out of the woods. So let me just say that even the most experienced scrapbookers, not that I'm the most experienced, but I have been doing this a while, we still make mistakes. So if you're new to this, don't you worry. It's all good. And usually you can come up with something to fix or make good whatever it is that you've done. All right, so we're gonna put that one there. This one's going to be centered. It's going to be the same distance from the center as the other one, as much as you possibly can. And it's going to be centered on this sheet as well. So let's see. Oops, I just pushed that down. That's not going to work. Center it just a little. All right. Set that down. Okay, so we've got our base pieces where they need to be. I'm going to remove that one for a second too. Now we're going to turn this over. We'll get our adhesive on here so it's ready to be stuck down. All right. Now I want to make sure that this is in the same place as this one. So what I'm going to do is put this sheet on top of the other and make sure that it's lined up just so. All right. There we go. It looks like it's right on top. So I can see that this is where my sheet needs to go. On this side of the page. There we go. Right on the edge again. All right, so then that's in exactly the right place. And you can even move the paper down the other direction and see where these other 2 pieces need to go. All right, so we're going to go here and we're going to go about that far in. And it's all nice and even. All right, that one's good. Nice thing about doing a mirror image 2-page layout is that once you've thought about what you're doing for the first one, you don't have to think as carefully on the second one. You still have to think, but you don't have to be as careful because you've already figured it out for the first one. That one goes in the same place as the other. Okay. All right. So we've got one going this way. We've got one going this way. I had it right the first time. Okay. There, just like that. All right. Now we are gonna go ahead and put our decorative pieces across. And these are gonna go just across here. You can either put it all the way across that colored part, or you can drop it down just a little bit. I think because I can't get the whole design on the edge, I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave it all the way on that peach piece. That'll do. There we go. So I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive, because the cool part about the repositionable adhesive is I can go across these open areas. It doesn't get on my table, and it doesn't, if it does get on my table, I can just rub it right off, but I don't have to worry about it sticking in places it shouldn't. I also don't have to, worry about it showing on the open areas of my design, because it simply does not go where it's not wanted. It's a great little friendly adhesive. Doesn't go where it's not wanted. All right. There we go. Okay. Now these pieces, the other pieces that are going to have the vellum on them, need to go on, and they go on at the same level with this one up here. So you have that piece and you have this piece. And I'm going to move mine in so that it's close, not right on top of, but fairly close to the other design. Now I'm not going to adhere my vellum just now, because the adhesive I need to do that is actually, I don't have any right now, I'm out of it. But there is a special adhesive for vellum that you can put underneath it, and it's less noticeable. If I was to use my permanent adhesive on this vellum, or even my my repositionable adhesive, you might be able to see it. Let me just try it. If it doesn't work, I can always take it off. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see that. I don't know if you can see it on camera. You see those dots right here? That's my repositionable adhesive. So I can see that through the vellum. But the vellum adhesive that we have It's supposed to make it so that you don't have to worry about that. So I'm gonna wait and not adhere that until I get more of my vellum adhesive. Let's see, I can just rub my repositionable adhesive right off and not worry about that. It's not going to stick to anything in the meantime. I'm just going to set that there. But I can go ahead and adhere my other frame, my under mat. That is not a problem. We can go ahead and put that one on. So let's do that. So we're going to go about the same distance that we went from the center. We're going to allow about that same distance from the edge of this frame and this frame. So that it's matted nicely. You have the same distance here and the same distance here. Okay, so there's that. Oh, I almost put that in the wrong place. I need that to be even down here, not up there. What I was thinking. Clearly, I wasn't totally thinking. All right. So we got that down and that down. So now what we need is some embellishments because we're ready for photos other than that. So what I'm going to do is I have a few stickers left that would look nice on this page. I'm going to try to figure out which ones we should use. There's another one that would actually work also. So remember when we put our embellishments on our sticker clusters, we don't want to just sticker sneeze all over the page. What we want to do is have a sticker in each quadrant, a sticker on the left, a sticker in the middle, a sticker on the far right, one that's high, one that's in the middle, one that's low if possible. That helps our eye flow over the page and look nice. In the meantime, I also need some kind of a title for this page. So I have a couple of mats that have some titles on them. This one says, "You're my home and greatest adventure all at once." This one says something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue, which is pretty cool. I really like both of those sayings. And I'm thinking that I could put, let's see. We could put, if we're going to use this one, we could put it up here and then add a couple of extra little stickers to it. If we're going to use this one, I would put it down here because of that branch that climbs up. We would cut it so that it would fit better in that area. And I think I'm inclined to use this one mostly because you don't often see something down here in this corner. It's usually up in this corner. So I think I'm inclined to go ahead and work with that. But that being said, I think what I'd like to do is also put some kind of a journal box on this page because journaling is really important. And I don't have a lot of journal boxes on the layouts that I've done for this project. So let's see if I can find a journal box that would fit in this area up here. Something that would kind of match. We could do "Love Is" and cut that down. I like that actually. Let's do that. We will cut that down to fit up here. So let's see, we can cover that just a little, and we'll cut it on this line right here, which is that one. Okay. 1 second. So we're going to cut right on the dotted line, essentially. That gives us a little bit of Arietta journal. Maybe not as much as you might wish to have, but it's going to fit in that space and look really nice. And they can write up there as well if they want to. And then let's see, how should we journal or adjust this one? I think I'm going to just use my scissors and fussy cut around this a little bit. You know what it means to fussy cut? I don't even know where that term started, but it really means that you hold whatever it is and you simply cut around it and try to make the borders even all the way around, which can be kind of fussy. And it can make people kind of cranky, like a fussy baby, because it does require some extra attention. And I don't know if that's where the term came from, but that's what I always have equated it to, because it requires some extra attention. All right, so fussy cut around that, and it will fit right up the side there. We can add some cute little things to it. Let's round these corners real quick, because I think that will kind of add to the finished look of this piece. Oops, it won't fit into my corner rounder. Can you see that? Because of this bump up here. So I'm gonna have to do that one on my own, ladies. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. Well, close enough. All right. So then that will go there. And we'll add a couple things to it. We can add this extra branch. I've got a heart that's in that same stone that we have all over this page, which I think will look lovely right up here. And we'll bring the heart that came out of that down here. Okay, so let's turn this the other direction. And I just glanced up here, and once again, you can't see what I'm doing because I've wandered off to the side. All right, so we've got this here. We're gonna place this decoratively underneath it. That. The heart kind of right there in the center. Let me go ahead and put some adhesive on this guy, and then we'll tuck him back underneath there. just like that. You always want to have like 3 things in your cluster. So probably ought to add something to this guy. Let's see here. First, we want to make sure he's nice and centered. And even, so the you'll notice the boundary here and the boundary here are roughly the same, which is really good. That means it's nice and centered. If not, I probably would be inclined to trim this piece just a little bit to make it so that it worked and stayed nice and in the center. And then, so I've got my embellishment in the corner here. I've got my embellishment in the corner here. It'd be really great if I had something right in here, just something small. So let me see if I can find something small that we could stick in there. I have a flower left that looks like it might be perfect. So one side or the other, maybe this side, since we have, this is kind of big down here. And we'll add a couple of additional flowers to it. I don't think we need any words. So that's got nothing but words. That's got nothing but words. This has another heart, but it's done with the brick, but that's okay. We could use that. And we could use, stick that right behind. And we'll use a small, one of these small little roses. Let's use this one here. Maybe like that. Often we'll use foam squares to pop something like this up off the page. I don't think I'm going to just now though. I'm just going to go ahead and add this right here to the center, just so that so it doesn't interfere with any of the other pictures. It just kind of adds to the page. All right, I think we are just about finished. Let's take a quick look. Clear some of this debris out of here. I think we're good. The only thing I will need to do is go ahead and adhere this vellum down as soon as I get that adhesive in. And that page, this 2-page layout will be good to go. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that you get a chance to create a page similar to this sometime in the future. I love using project recipes. They really take the guesswork and the creative stump out of me, and it makes it so much easier to make beautiful pages without having to worry over coming up with the idea myself. No need to recreate the wheel. Thanks so much, and I hope that you keep creating. I'll see you next time.